Hello and a very good afternoon to everyone. I am Megha Upadhyay, your host, and we welcome you to all on today's exciting webinar session. As we all know that teamwork and collaboration are most important, they help us share diverse ideas, solve problems effectively, build a strong relationship, and achieve common goals through mutual efforts and understanding. On this, our today's topic is scaling startup through smart teamwork. On this interesting topic, today we have with us Dr. Sushmita Nande ma'am. She is a global mentor and advisor board member of ISAC EPIC and also a professor at MES Garwara College of Commerce. Ma'am, we warmly welcome you on behalf of the Gwalior Smart City Incubation Center.
Thank you.
Also, in this session, we are joined by Raj Chaurasia from RJ Insights, Suyas from Smart Solar, and Riddhim Shukla from RYX Media. We welcome you all. So, without any further delay, I request to ma'am, please start the session.
Thank you so much, Megha. Good afternoon, everyone. And this is a very important topic that we are going to discuss today, or I'm going to just speak on something that is very important for a company, for a startup, especially. So, this is teamwork and collaboration. Actually, everyone knows the basic concepts that, yes, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am, perfectly, you are audible.
Okay. Yes. Teamwork and collaboration is something that makes every company very much vibrant and innovative, full of, good progress. We need always we knew know that there are a lot of companies which have been doing very well, and one of the ingredient that makes them successful is the teamwork and collaboration, or having a very good vibrant team is something that companies do have to have before they think of growing, or before they think of expanding. So today we'll talk about this in little bit brief. And the first and foremost thing is a teamwork. So what is exactly a teamwork? Now we all know that there are different people coming from different diverse background in a team. Most of the ideation or the startup founders themselves may be, from different, say, maybe few people may come together and set up the company. So they may come from different backgrounds also. Say example, one may be from the tech background, one may be from the engineering background, one may be from an entirely different background. So people may come from different backgrounds, or there could be a single founder also, but the team that he has would be from different functional perspective, that is the different departments, and also different personalities, different maybe locations, and likewise. So but everyone comes together for a common purpose. There's always a purpose behind a company. The first thing is a purpose for the development of a company, that why the company has been developed and what is the motive behind this development. And for that, say example, we people may come together for certain common interests. So that is also a team which we may form ourselves. Or sometimes there are teams which are formed by companies. Say example, the structure of the organization is such that, say example, there are people recruited and then you get a new team member. So you don't know that person at all. You have to work with her or him for a particular project or for certain things. So here comes the essence of teamwork. So it's first of all, the thing is that it has to be collaborative, not a single person, or it's not a single person ruled thing or governed thing that only one person can drive a company. Never. It's always a group of individuals which can drive the company in a cohesive form, and that leads to the progress of the company. So it has to be a collaborative one, and the goal also has to be aligned. That is, the goals that are outlined by the company has to be aligned. Everyone should think the same, in the same framework. Then it is progressive, otherwise it becomes regressive, and then you don't meet those goals. So second thing is that you have to have problem solving, improve problem solving. Now, when we're talking about startups, everyone knows that startups from the foundation phase till they grow and they reach a very good level, they will always face different problems, and there could be numerous financial related problems, there could be market related problems, marketing related problems, innovation related problems, then you could say manpower related problems, and so on. There are different types of problems that a startup may face. So, but for this, a very good team can always effectively tackle these complex problems and find different innovative solutions. So, here lies not only innovation, not only related to product innovation, but it is also related to solving the problems. Say, if there's an HR related issue, can we solve this problem together? Or if there's a financial related issue, how can we solve this problem together? So all the people come together and start understanding the problem and try to get the solutions and try to implement it. So problem solving cannot be done by a single person, but it has to be done by the group here. The third thing is the synergy between everyone. So it's a combined effort again where everyone has to contribute their part. So here, if there are different group of individuals who are working together, say there's a marketing guy, there's a finance guy, there's a tech person, or there is some engineering background person. So all our people are together. Everyone is following or doing their part, but all have to gel with each other. It's not that this department is more important than the other department. It's never like that. So, or some people say that okay, marketing guys are the best. They determine everything. It's not like that. They have to work together in a project. So essentially, in project management, or see, project management is always because of teamwork. So everything, like say example, right from the ideation of a product or the conceptualization of a product till you launch or commercialize a product or to launch the product in the market, there are so many steps, and every step will require a good teamwork where you are progressing in that direction in the given timeline. That is more important. That time is very important. So the synergy is only something that everyone will come together, contribute their part, and it is productive and it will accumulate. It should be a summation of all these efforts. So that's synergy here. And because of that, there is always an increased efficiency. So efficiency is when you can enhance your business with your resources. And we all know that resources are always limited. For no organization will claim that we have maximum resources. They'll be always constrained of these resources, whether it's finance, whether it's manpower, whether it is time, whether it is any technical software or any kind of resource that you're going to use, will always have some or the other constraint. So but here what is important is when you divide the work and you try to complete it on time, that will make it efficient. So that resource management also requires enhanced, you can say, shared resources, or you can say shared responsibilities, and in which all these tasks are divided equally among the team members. The work would happen on time. So teamwork is a very this phenomenon. Like we can say that there are so many examples. We can say that every type of sport which we see, whether it's cricket, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, whether any kind of sport you take, you can never say that Virat Kohli is a great batsman, but he alone cannot make the team win unless his other fellows also contribute to the team. So it's always a team effort, which is very important. Or likewise, we can say that a company is successful because every department is contributing its best, and they are not only the best, they're also very well gelled with each other and they are contributing as a team. So that is very important thing as a teamwork. Now, if we go to the next slide, we'll see that there are different elements of this teamwork and collaboration. So without collaboration, teamwork can never happen. That is the very important, essential uh, statement to say that collaboration cannot happen without the support of different colleagues. And now, if we see our teams, that there are different people within our organization, which is our internal team, we can say, and there are, say, interdepartmental teams also, that is marketing department, finance department, this that. So there are so many other departments within an organization, and there are also people outside the organization with whom you need to frequently interact. They are your extended members. Say, example, your suppliers, your clients, your customers, regular customers. So now your team will be an extended, framework, or there is a extended team that you need to play with. So here you can see that it's not only the internal people who have to show teamwork, but also the other people have to collaborate, like your suppliers, your other stakeholders, they also have to collaborate. So collaboration within a small group and then leading to a larger group collaboration is very important for a company to grow and to prosper. So for that, there are certain elements of effective teamwork and collaboration. So first and foremost thing is setting the clear goals and objective and understanding the team's purpose. As I said at the start also, there has to be a purpose, which is very important. Without a purpose, there is no company actually, or there is some or the other idea of the founder, or people who are founding the company, they have some or the other purpose here. So the purpose could be more social oriented, could be more economic oriented, could be environment oriented, could be a totally sustainable, thing that you're talking about sustainable development goals. So there are many companies which have set their goals according aligned to the SDGs or sustainable development goals. So setting the clear goals and objective is very important because it has to be realistic. That is very important, underlined. So if we set unrealistic goals and objectives, you will never achieve them, and then there will be frustration, and there are a lot of problems in the company. So they say that you need to have the SMART goals. So SMART, everyone knows SMART is the realistic one and the one which is possible, which is measurable, and all that. We all know what is SMART goals. So that defined goals and objectives is something which is very important. And then, say, example, your 5 member organization, 10 member organization, 50 member organization. So every member should know their roles and responsibilities. So if the roles and responsibilities are ambiguous, that is, it is not defined. The person does not know what is my role in the organization. और समटाइम्स वी फाइंड दैट अरे एक बंदे को ये भी काम दे दिया वो भी काम दे दिया, he doesn't know exactly what he's doing, he or she what is she is doing, because sometimes there are people who are doing everything. There are certain organizations who don't define these roles and responsibilities for their members. So that person is doing everything. So that fellow will always get stressed out and that will hamper the working of the organization. Suppose such person suddenly leaves the organization out of frustration, then these organizations get affected. Just because of this problem that the roles and responsibilities are not clearly defined, and the other person, that is the person who is working, is also not aware that what is my responsibility, what am I supposed to do here, and why am I hired. Sometimes the hiring position is different and the work given is different, so that should not be the case in this particular thing. Third thing is open communication, sharing ideas and feedback freely. Now, many of the organizations have a very open culture, meaning that you are free to share everything, even to the top bosses. But in certain organizations, this is not allowed. That is, there is always a hindrance of communication which will stop the person to share the ideas freely, or to give some kind of feedback, or say that this is not something that we should do. This is my personal opinion. But who can talk this to the boss? So that kind of relation will always stop the free flow of communication. So you'll always find that open communication and open sharing of ideas should be always encouraged. And that's the reason today's technology has advanced. So initially people used to sit together, have meetings. Now we have all virtual meetings, virtual sessions, this, that. So obviously there are so many communication software, productivity software where people can share a lot of things, can keep everyone updated. There are so many, apps and kind of things. And that's the reason that communication channels has to be understood, that what is the best communication channel for the company and how you can share your ideas, your feedback freely, so that this, it could be a top down communication or a bottoms up communication. Both type of communication should be free, and that is very important for an organization. Now, next is the mutual trust and respect. Now, this is again a very important ingredient or a pillar where everyone is respected in the organization. Whether it's a lower level person, also has some respect, should earn some respect, or should get some respect, both the ways. So, safe environment, collaborative environment, people should work freely, people should share ideas freely, they should help each other. They should not, this is a very common thing that people pull each other's legs. That is, don't want others to go up, or किसी का अच्छा idea accept हो गया, so others are jealous. So, this jealousy, ego, and all kinds of things that makes a toxic work culture should be always avoided. But uh, rather than that, having trust in the employees or in the partners or in the colleagues is very important. Respecting each and everyone, for because everyone knows something or the other. Nobody is a master of everything, and no one is something that does not know anything. So people are good in their own areas. That's why they are here, and at the same time no one knows everything. So both the things have to be accepted, and that's the reason, give respect and earn respect or get respect. So this type of thing should be always there in an organization. And the last and very important thing is the commitment and accountability. Each and every member, whoever are working in a startup, especially now, the large companies or the companies which are established are, they are there for so many years. But especially for startups, uh, a sustainable way of existence is very important. So for that, there has to be commitment from every team member that they are dedicated and responsible. Everything should be owned by them. That this is my company, ये मेरा startup है, and because of that, I am supposed to give 100% to this. My knowledge, my time, my efforts, everything. So for that, it's not easy to get people to do all these things so quickly, and that's the reason everyone should gel with each other. They should understand that this company is driven by people, and then if there is growth and if there is more prospects, then how each and everyone gets benefited because of it. It's always a two-way thing. How you get accountability, how much of responsibility you give, and how much of accountability is also there. So commitment is very important. Now there are many people who think तो ये मेरा part था, मैंने तो कर दिया. Like say example, there's a marketing person, and his or her work is just to give marketing strategy, design all promotional ways, and all kinds of things, all marketing related work, and then he says mera kam ho gaya. So that's not the thing. You have to understand the other side too, their problems, how both can complement each other. So this kind of attitude or commitment will always help a company to grow. So this is how teamwork and collaboration should always be there in a company. So now we go to the next slide, and for that, what are the benefits? Now we can always say that, of course, I am also going to ask you certain questions. Now I don't want to just keep talking all the time, because there are also some questions for you which are very easy. I just want you to share certain things that you feel which are very important for us. So, of course, there are always benefits of teamwork and collaboration. The first and foremost thing is the efficiency, which I was talking about. That Finishing the work on time is the first and foremost thing that every company should think of, because time is equal to money always. So the moment, and this is also the true in project management, we all know that there is a creep cost, or the moment you extend your project, your cost will always increase. So always time is a biggest thing, and creating the timelines and following them strictly is very important. You can see all these things that you look at any metro project, you see any construction project, you see any kind of thing, how they get delayed and how much of losses they make just because of not completing the work on time. So similarly, if you're a company who want to launch a product in the market, say 6 months timeline, 1 month, 1 year timeline, so that timeline has to be strictly followed, because that is what you have planned. Your resources are planned till that time. The moment you exceed the time, you're gone. So that is the reason you have to even try to do it faster, and it's always the fastest one who is getting benefited. You launch a new product in the market, you are the king. The moment is someone else, then there's it's the loss. So that's the reason you have to be very fast and agile. And for that, again, you have to calculate reverse. Project management will always teach us how to assign all these WBS or work breakdown structure and all those things. And because of that, all these tasks which you have planned, micro tasks and then the macro tasks, can complete on time with the milestones and all kinds of things. And remember, efficiency, as I said some time back, is the resource management, the manpower related costs, the infrastructure, or every time man, machine, then money, all these things are very important for any business. And these things are always scarce, or always there are constraints. There will be constraints. So saving maximum money is always, from day one we can think of that, how can we cut down the wastages, how can we improve the efficiency. Now there's a simple formula for this also, that you utilize the minimum resource but achieve the maximum functions. That is called as the efficiency. So more work done in lesser time, in a simple sense. The second important thing of teamwork is, when minds are open, you always think good. That is always there. So you think of innovation, because you have people from different backgrounds, diverse ideas, and then you come towards a creative solution. And for that, there has to be an open mind. Always I say that the moment you start doubting somebody else, or you try to have some mistrust or that kind of thing, the innovation will always go away. First get all the good ideas, and then think about the feasibility. So getting the innovation done is getting first the ideation done in a very good way, and getting the most creative solution, then go to the feasibility part and all kinds of things. So innovation driven culture is something that every company has to inculcate right from day one, that their people have to think that, remember, always I say this to many people, that anything stagnant is bad. Like stagnant money is bad, stagnant water is bad, stagnant knowledge is bad. So innovation is where you are, using your dynamic. Everything is dynamic. You're going. You don't have the same way of product. You're changing some features in the product, launching again in the market, or you're changing the method of production. Again, you're innovating there. You're changing something or the other in the product, in the service, and you're trying to give back maximum things to the customer. Then that is how you innovate every time, and then every time your customers are happier with your products and services. So innovation is always very very important thing, that one, it should be inculcated, and that is not possible by a single person. So you always need a good team here to innovate. Third thing is a shared workload. And now, as I said, many of the companies, as I say, is having the 80-20 type of structure, where 20% people are working hard like anything and 80% are not. We see many organizations there, that Some people are overburdened and some people don't have work. So this should not be the case where workload is not properly given. And even here in this case, one should understand the capacity of a person, what he or she is capable of, and accordingly allot the workload. So burnout is a very bad thing, which can kill the innovation. Again, there is research which say innovation and burnout are inversely proportional, always. So if you have that kind of burnout scenario in the company, that where people are stressed out, heavily loaded with work, you will never get good innovation. So always one has to calculate that how much of workload is shared equally amongst people, and which can reduce the stress and increase the output. So that is again a very important fact. The next thing is the enhanced learning. Now here learning organizations always grow, they always go up higher, because as I said, again, go back to my word, stagnant, knowledge is something which is very bad. Even if you have learned a lot, you're a very good, like as I say, okay, I'm a PhD, I say my learning stop, never. I can always say right now also that I don't know anything. I have to learn so many things still which I don't know. So I have to keep learning. And then what you learn is, first of all, you have your people in front of you, you can learn from each other. You can learn the marketing side, you can learn the financial side, you can learn technology from the technology person. So you have a lot of things to learn from each other's strengths, and also updating one's or upgrading oneself. Every member can upgrade himself or herself, which can totally contribute to the learning of the organization. That's how innovation can again increase here in this case. Stronger relationships. Now here trust is a very important thing, teamwork is a very important thing. So stronger relationships will always be very helpful, where you don't pull each other's legs, but rather you support each other during any bad times, or even during good times. So stronger relationship can only happen if you have a good teamwork again. So again, these kind of organization can always survive any problem. And then we know that there are a lot of problems that every organization faces, especially during the startup phase and in the initial phases of their, of the company, especially the financial burdens and all other things. But at that time, this stronger relationships will always help the organizations to go ahead. So these are the benefits. Now we go to the next slide, where I will just tell you certain ideation methods. Now, why I'm telling this here is because these are very good for teams. Now, as I said, only theory is not important or not so useful, but there are certain things which you can do in your organizations to improve the teamwork in your organization. Say, example, you have a team of 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever it is. You can have different ideation method that suits you, because you need to develop, say, strategies. You can have, you have to devise marketing strategies, you have to have financial strategies, you have to have production strategies. So every time, everywhere there is a strategy. You are thinking of developing a new product, everywhere there's a ideation. And for that there are certain techniques which I would just like to mention, that how you can help to build a very good team in your organization by doing this kind of sessions in between, say, weekends, or once in a month, twice in a month. You can have this kind of sessions. You can just keep time for these things. These are very important. So first and foremost thing is a brainstorming session. Everyone knows that brainstorming session is where people come together, they sit, they think of either a problem, or they think of, say example, finding solutions to a problem, or say example, what kind of, say example, when you're designing a product, you think of different features of a product, you think of different, what type of product maybe to start with that we should deal with, right from that. So what kind of features should be there in a product, what kind of price we should target to the customers, or who should be our target customers. So there are so many things that you can think of. So brainstorming sessions are something that people should come with open mind. You can use the whiteboard, you can use the post-its, you can divide people into groups. Everyone can contribute their part, what they think. So you just don't think about feasibility to start with, but you just give ideas. So ideation, sessions are very, you can say, interesting, very energetic, and sometimes very enjoyable too, where you think of so many things without keeping the feasibility part and everything at the backside. So and even say example, you're thinking of solving a problem, use fishbone method, you use any kind of method, you try to understand the root cause analysis, and so many things we can do. So all these ideas are accumulated, and then you think of the feasibility, that which idea looks good to everyone, and then think of the feasibility, and then you can go ahead. So brainstorming sessions are very good way in which people come together. Unless you come together, share certain ideas with each other, you cannot gel as a team. And sometimes these brainstorming sessions can be taken maybe outside the office. You can have in a resort, or in a hall, in a any other place, or within the inside the company also, anywhere, in your auditorium or wherever, meeting room, any kind of thing. So but these are very good sessions. Now second thing what I would like to say is a reverse brainstorming. Now also in the brainstorming sessions, say example, you don't come together, you're physically you're a virtual team, suppose. So if you're a virtual team, still you can brainstorm using different apps like Miro. Miro is an app where you can collaborate, you can share uh, your ideas, you can update there. So there are a lot of apps which are technology is so advanced these days. You can always do this ideation method uh, processes virtually too. So you can have these kind of interesting sessions. Jamboard is another app which you can use for the brainstorming session. These are all free. Then the reverse brainstorming, here you think of the opposite. Like, say example, uh, how will my product fail? This is the opposite of brainstorming. You will think of how and on what reasons your product may fail, or how, what you want to avoid, you're trying to think, or what kind of risk. Say example, um, you may also think that you are not what are the reasons in which you will not make profit. So you come out with the reasons that because of which the profit will be hampered. It is going reverse. And because of that, you identify all the risks that can lead to the problem. So you're trying to identify the problem and working towards what can cause the problem, and then trying to avoid it in future. And that also is a very good technique, which where people come together, they share their ideas. Array, this thing can lead to problem, uh, the sales of this much will not be enough, or say example, itna liquid funds are not enough, or whatever. All kinds of ideas come in, and that will give you certain inputs that these are the risks.
Ma'am, sorry for interruption. Uh,
Yes,
Hello.
yes, yes.
Ma'am,
Hear
I
you.
think there is some network issue from your hand. Can you check?
Is it okay? My voice is not audible. Hello, everyone able to hear?
Yes, yes, ma'am, you're audible now.
Okay, okay, okay. Could you hear the thing that I was explaining, brainstorming sessions and all?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Did you hear about the reverse brainstorming?
You can continue with reverse brainstorming.
Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Thanks, thanks. Just let me know if, yeah, I'm not audible.
Sure, sure,
Uh,
sure.
yes. So, reverse brainstorming is understanding what problem may occur in the due course and then going backwards that what can lead to the problem. Say, example, that why would a product not be successful in a market? What are the different reasons that a product is not successful? And because of that, you identify the risk involved in the whole process, and then you are prepared for the risk. It's indirectly preparing all the different types of risks and the risk management that you do. So reverse brainstorming is also equally interesting, like a brainstorming sessions, which is actually thinking of the say launching a product in the market or trying to design new features in a product or whatever. It is just the opposite of it. Now, brain writing is where the third one is where people don't talk much. They don't, say, example, people don't want to talk. So you can write these ideas. Now, this is a not that effective, I feel, but there are certain organizations or people who may not speak up, who may not just open up. So for them, they can write on, say, example, certain postcards or chits or this kind of thing, and they can put it in a box. So this whatever ideas they write, say example, a person wrote some idea and that idea is going to be continued by the second one, or that other person is supporting it, so that he or she reads the chit, and okay, he also likes that idea. So it is how you're developing the idea to something bigger through writing, not talking. So it is another way of doing a brainstorming session, which is again a practical form, but it's also an interesting one. Cross-functional workshops is, as I said, within a company there are different departments. So, say example, the marketing team is giving a session to all other departments, or the technology guys are talking about technology. Say example, now AI is everywhere. So, AI in business is something that every department should know. So again, these technology guys are training the other departments on AI, and how can you use AI for your own betterment, for your own function. So this kind of cross-functional workshops, again, where different teams come together, they interact with each other, and they also gel with each other. So that is also a very good collaborative workshop or method. Again, idea boxes or digital forms is where you have Google Forms, you have all these virtual ways of getting ideas, and this is more useful where people are not close to each other. There could be virtual organizations, and sometimes or people who are not staying close to each other can use all these digital ways of contributing the ideas and interacting with each other. So where there's a common drive or there's a common Dropbox, which they can share, and they can put all these things in the drive here. One-on-one checkings is where people are having the one-on-one meetings where they ask each other about what should be our next strategy, say example, and then everybody gives their own opinion, and then some there's some kind of uh, people come to some solution and then they implement it in the next course. Innovation sprints also is a very good exercise where 2 to 3 days are kept for innovation, like back to back innovation sessions. Everything you, from A to Z, you think of innovation. Not only the product and service related innovation, but innovation everywhere. Even in, say, example, hiring HR guys, how to hire effectively or how to recruit, what should be our strategy. Right from there, uh, every department can start having their innovation sprints where 2 to 3 days are dedicated for all kinds of new ideas for anything. And that all these new ideas are accumulated, and then you think about the best solution in the due course. So innovation sprints, or these are also very good for organizations to come together, get good ideas, and also implement them. Role reversal or empathy exercises is putting the other hat. Say, example, you come together, the tech person will have to behave like a marketing person, the marketing person have to behave like a tech person. So the moment you switch over the roles, then you understand their nature of work. The empathy comes, or empathy exercises are something that you come to know the other side well. And because of that, whenever you work, you always think about the other person. So it could be even thinking about one is a supplier, one is a customer, and one is the investor, say example. You just switch the roles, and you can understand how each one behaves and how you should deal with the other person. So role reversal and empathy exercises are also very good to develop. And also these are all team building exercises which in which people come to know a lot of things. Okay, so of course, there are a lot of challenges because we all know that everyone is not similar. People come from different, all the fingers are different. So there are different talents, there are different personalities, but they are together. So you will always find that number one, there could be leadership gaps, wherein you will find that sometimes leadership is lacking, where you find the leader himself may lack certain, say example, leader does not communicate properly. So or leader does not demonstrate certain things to his followers. So, uh, if a key, okay, I'll answer this question at the end. Uh, So, ineffective leadership disrupts direction. That is always there. And most of the people look up to the leader to guide them. Leaders are like mentors also. And they have to know certain things. They may not know everything, but they can get the best out of people. That is what the leadership should be, to getting the best out of others and not to push them down. That is very important thing. Unequal participation, as I said, some people dominate, others contribute less. 80-20 organizations, which I always tell that few people are working day and night, few people are okay, I'm good, I don't need to do anything. And that's how sometimes organization suffers because of that. So that is a poor communication is a, this is a very common thing. Communication is very poor, and that always leads to misunderstandings because you assumption is a very bad part, which of communication, that you think that you were told, or you assume that मुझे लगा था he so and so will do the work. So that is, you have to always confirm, you have to always have good channels. And that's the reason technology has come into the play, where I'll go to the next slides where you'll see the Slack and all these things are there. Minutes are can be shared efficiently, everything can be shared very efficiently, and people use this kind of softwares for that. Siloed working, as I said, people, silos are very bad things, that I am only focused on my work. Say marketing guys, only my work is enough. I don't know what the company is doing, or same departments think in that form is not at all a good thing. So siloed working should never be cultivated. People should always be together. Or rather, today's organization structures are project based. Hence, this siloed working has reduced actually, but still, uh, people have to work together. That is a more important thing here. If you have siloed working, don't see each other's faces, it's not good. Personality clashes, there are different personalities always. Some are extroverts, some are introverts, some are type A, some are type B. किसी को टाइम की पड़ी नहीं है, किसी को टाइम के पहले चाहिए. So different people clash with each other, and if they are together, then there will be always conflict. So conflict resolution, or जजिंग और अंडरस्टैंडिंग द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट की कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, तो जो मैनेजर है या टीम लीड है, उसको पहले कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है करके पता होना चाहिए, और हाउ टू अवॉइड कॉन्फ्लिक्ट फ्रॉम द स्टार्ट. अवॉइडेंस इज द बेस्ट सॉल्यूशन. That is there. And if lesser the conflict, easier it is to manage. ज़्यादा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो गया, यू कांट मैनेज इट. सो पर्सनालिटी क्लैशेस जब होता है, it's generally two different personalities. When they come with each other, they don't gel because they are different. Yeah. So इसलिए ये भी पार्ट देखना पड़ता है. लैक ऑफ कमिटमेंट, एज आई सेड, ऑल आर नॉट कमिटेड इक्वली. कोई दिन रात काम करेगा, कोई 9 to 5 काम करके बाय बाय करके जाएगा, या कोई उतना भी नहीं करेगा. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ difference always leads to improper teamwork, right? I'll answer the questions at the end, and how to have the strategies for good teamwork. So, okay, as I said, open रहना चाहिए, कम्युनिकेशन में बैरियर नहीं होना चाहिए, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट देखते ही रिजॉल्व करना चाहिए, स्पीक टू ईच अदर, रिजॉल्व इट देयर इटसेल्फ, राइट? सेलिब्रेट छोटे छोटे अचीवमेंट्स, यू शुड ऑलवेज सेलिब्रेट, यू शुड ऑलवेज, मतलब पीपल शुड नॉट थिंक दैट अरे हम दिन रात काम कर रहे हैं and you don't do anything, you don't get at something at return. So celebrate the chote chote milestones. May not be big, something that is involving a lot of parties or this kind of thing, but छोटे छोटे appreciations, या कुछ मीटिंग में कुछ appreciate कर लिया, all kinds of things, छोटे छोटे चीजें also counts. And always trust is a something that is very important for an employee and for an employer too. Reliability, consistency, these are very important for teamwork. And as I said, role ambiguity बिल्कुल होना चाहिए. जिस जिस काम के लिए लिया था उसी से काम वही करना है. The moment we try to expand the role of a person, ये प्रॉब्लम होगा ही कि इसको लिया था ये काम के लिए और उसको चार काम और भी लगा दिए. सो वो आदमी आगे फ्रस्ट्रेट होगा ही. दैट इज ऑलवेज गोइंग टू हैपन. Or you change the terminology of the job. That is what I always suggest. These are the strategies we all are aware. So, as I said, there are certain tools and strategies for teamwork and collaboration. So, team Microsoft Team ने इसलिए उसका नाम Teams ही रखा है because it enhances the teamwork. And we all know that जैसे start हुआ था, uh, just around COVID times, तब से लेके अब तक कितना उन्होंने इनोवेशन किया है उसमें. लाइक यू हैव सो मेनी फीचर्स नाउ, सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट हैव बीन एडेड टिल नाउ everywhere, whether it's Google Meet, whether it is Zoom, whether it is Teams, whether it's WebEx, सब ने हम अपने अपने इसमें ऑलरेडी इनोवेट किए हैं जस्ट टू फैसिलिटेट कम्युनिकेशन बिटवीन डिफरेंट पीपल. So Microsoft Teams is a very good one. Again, Slack is used by most of the project management people. Yeah, most of the companies use Slack. IT companies से लेके सब तो Slack use ही करते हैं because it is a very good collaborative platform for everyone for communication. And for project management also there are different softwares like Trello, Asana, and so many others. So जो सबको suit होता है, that is what people should use and get trained in it. If नहीं आता तो train होना चाहिए. Virtual meetings has become more efficient, saves time, and जाना नहीं पड़ता है. So it is again saving of time can be done by virtual meetings. File sharing, as I said, Google Sheets है, Google Docs है, Google Drive है, Dropbox है, जो भी टाइप के collaborations कर सकते हैं for file sharing. And because of that everyone is aware of everything. Say example, timelines बनाया या वर्क ब्रेकडाउन स्ट्रक्चर बनाया या कोई तुम्हारा प्लान्स है या कोई एलोकेशन का चार्ट है या कुछ भी है या बजट्स है, एवरीथिंग इज शेयर्ड टू ईच अदर. सो पूछने की जरूरत भी नहीं है कि ये क्या है वो क्या है, बिकॉज यू कैन सी योर सेल्फ. एंड सिमिलरली ईआरपी इज ऑल्सो अनदर, if you see the other side, even ERP में भी वही है because different departments are working together. ये सब collaboratively काम कर रहे हैं. Not only that, internal members बाहर के suppliers से लेकर interact कर रहे हैं. तो ERP is also another good teamwork and collaboration platform for everyone. So you can always see. And leadership, as I said, a strong leader खुद पहले क्लियर होना चाहिए अबाउट द कंपनी, द विजन ऑफ द कंपनी, आगे कहाँ तक लेके जाना है, हाउ टू टेक इट टू लेवल बाय यूजिंग द राइट. मैंने जैसे बताया था कि यू हैव टू गेट द बेस्ट आउट ऑफ पीपल, दैट इज द एसेंस ऑफ अ गुड लीडर. not to suppress the talent of people. जितने अच्छे अच्छे talent है वो identify करके you have to get the best out of them. So that is there. Managing the team, leader को ज़्यादा mainly goes in conflict management. That's what I see. कि लोगों के इश्यूज रिजॉल्व करो, बाहर के आउटसाइड सप्लायर्स और आउटसाइड क्लाइंट्स के इश्यूज रिजॉल्व करो, ये वो, एंड ऑलवेज गाइड द टीम इन द राइट डायरेक्शन, एडवाइस दो. एंड ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज recognition and motivation to the team, which is very important. As we see that इतने सारा हम लोग we see on the social media also that a boss is always criticized. Boss is always known as a very bad figure because uh, unfortunately that has been the truth, that most of the bosses do not understand the subordinates. They don't motivate, they just push the work to them. But वो तो करना ही है, काम तो करवाना है, but even give the recognition equally, motivate people also. So you have to have a mix of everything in a leader, and then such leaders always lead the teams. That is very important. Of course, there are a lot of examples of successful teamwork, which you all know. कोई भी सैटेलाइट लॉन्च करना है, देन रॉकेट लॉन्च करना है, वॉर में जीतना है, एनी काइंड ऑफ थिंग, या मैच जीतना है, एनी काइंड ऑफ थिंग, दैट छोटे से लेके बड़े चीजें जो भी है, या इवन डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट. इफ देयर इज अ डिजास्टर देन ऑल पीपल कम टुगेदर. So that teamwork is only going to help to achieve the goal. Goal is very important here. So if you see certain companies like Google, yeah, if you see some kind of other companies, they have an innovation culture in their company because they have different departments, and they all are collaboratively working together. So that's the reason they are able to deliver so much to the community here. So ऐसे बहुत सारे examples हैं, right? And there are certain strategies of successful startups, like we all know about Zerodha. They are into fintech. तो उनका जो छोटा टीम, हाउ दे, उनका एक फोकस था कि टेक ऑटोमेशन करना है. टेक ऑटोमेशन, जो टेक्नोलॉजी को पहले से अडॉप्ट कर लेता है, आई एम टेलिंग यू दैट दे आर द बेस्ट पीपल because they know what is going to work for them in future. So technology is our assistant. ये याद रखो. The moment we go into manual things, now it is not at all productive. जितना हम टेक्नोलॉजी आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे एंड विच इज suited for our work, it is going to help you to scale. So that is the reason how they have to have some kind of strategy. So strategy कैसे इन्होंने बनाया, इनका छोटा टीम, इन्होंने डिस्कस किया कि हमारा स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होना चाहिए. हमारा फ्रुगल कल्चर, जो जुगाड़ कल्चर है, उस पे उन्होंने फोकस किया, एंड दैट्स हाउ दे स्केल टू दिस एक्सटेंट. Similarly, there are other startups also like Udan and all, which we see B2B के लिए उड़ान का ऐप है, एंड दे टारगेटेड द टियर 2 टियर 3 cities. तो उन्होंने वो स्ट्रैटेजी बनाया, एंड ऑफ कोर्स दे द फाउंडर्स फ्रॉम फ्लिपकार्ट एंड ऑल had this background. But every startup has to have a strategy. Remember that scaling strategy होना चाहिए, एंड उसके लिए वो टीम एक साथ बैठ के स्ट्रैटेजी बनाना पड़ता है. ऐसा नहीं कि एक पर्सन स्ट्रैटेजी बनाता है एंड others will say yes, yes, yes. ऐसा नहीं है. Everybody has to come together and do this. Then such startups are more successful in the. That's what our history has, or our market is talking about. Now, how to foster a collaborative culture? As I said, knowledge should flow freely. अरे मुझे ये आता है तो मैं किसी को नहीं बताऊंगी. This should never be the situation. Rather, knowledge should flow freely. जितना हम एक दूसरे को नॉलेज शेयर करेंगे उतना बेटर होगा. सो एंड नॉलेज शेयरिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स आर देयर दीज डेज. टेक्नोलॉजी हैज एडवांस्ड. We can keep everything on our own Google Drive, on our own website, on our own drives. So everybody can access these things. Use cases डाल दो, so सब देख सकते हैं. या प्रॉब्लम कुछ आया था, उस पे सॉल्यूशन कैसे निकाला था. सो ऑल दीज केसेस कैन बी केप्ट एज अ रिपोजिटरी एंड यू कैन ऑलवेज रिफर टू इट. टीम बिल्डिंग एक्टिविटीज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. कुछ लोगों को ये टाइम पास लगेगा, बट रिमेंबर दैट team building activities will always make the team very much close to each other, and these इसके लिए थोड़ा टाइम इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ता है. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इंक्लूसिविटी, सब टाइप के लोग चाहिए, बिकॉज दैट इज डाइवर्स टीम ऑलवेज मेक्स योर टीम मोर वाइब्रेंट. अलग अलग फील्ड्स के लोग चाहिए. एज आई सेड, टेक वाले भी चाहिए, मार्केटिंग वाले भी चाहिए, फाइनेंस वाले भी चाहिए. ऑल टाइप्स ऑफ पीपल, ऑल जेंडर भी होना चाहिए, इक्वल इंक्लूसिव होना चाहिए, रिगार्डलेस ऑफ एनी स्टेट हो या लैंग्वेज हो या समथिंग. यू शुड नेवर डिफरेंशिएट व्हेन यू सी अ टैलेंट. सो दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. प्रोवाइड कंस्ट्रक्टिव फीडबैक. सो इसके लिए क्रिटिसिज्म भी अच्छी तरह से एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए. फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म होना चाहिए. फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म ही नहीं है, then that is very bad in the organization. So everywhere, everything should be a learning loop where feedback has to be incorporated there. लीड बाय एग्जाम्पल. मैनेजर्स हैज टू लीड. मतलब उनके जो हाउ दे बिहेव, हाउ दे ट्रीट पीपल, हाउ दे हेल्प पीपल, हाउ दे गाइड देम. सो दे आर लाइक रोल मॉडल्स. दे, बिकॉज वो अगर सबके साथ कोलैबोरेट करेंगे, देन द अदर मेंबर्स विल आल्सो. सो दे आर सेटिंग द एग्जाम्पल्स फॉर अदर्स. I'll just go quickly. Okay, I'm at the end of the session now. I can see that there are some startups, right? Can I ask some question to some people? Uh, I just want to know what you think. Yes. Okay. So the first question is, uh, tell me some way in which you can, or how do you make communication smooth in your team? What is the means of communication in your team? Anybody can. Yes. Or what kind of communication channels are there, or how do you ensure that the communication is happening smoothly in your team? Is there any specific, like as I said, software use karte ho ki face to face hi milte ho? What kind of thing you have in your organization?
I'm about to start up with us, Raj. If you are listening with us, so please answer these questions.
Okay, you meet face to face. Okay, that's also good. No, no problem. It's always better to meet face to face. Okay, fine. Okay, then what is one behavior I will stop that harms collaboration? What do you think that collaboration के लिए अच्छा नहीं है? See, first we should understand क्या अच्छा नहीं है, then only we can do something good. What is one behavior I will stop that harms collaboration? Have you identified something in your company that जिससे लोग एक साथ काम नहीं करते? Is it something like that? Yes. Anything, any behavior. से एग्जाम्पल कोई आइडियाज दे रहा है तो उसको लाइक से यू हैव अ ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग सेशन, तो एज आई सेड ओपन माइंड से ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग करना पड़ता है. व्हेन यू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग ये नहीं होगा वो नहीं होगा, एट दैट फेज यू कैन नॉट फ्रीली आइडिएट. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ बिहेवियर शुड बी स्टॉप्ड व्हेन in the ideation phase at least. Okay, tell me, how do you handle disagreement or conflict अगर आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में है? How do you handle it? कभी ऐसा हुआ कि एक दूसरे में you are okay, the leadership. So how is that? Can you just unmute and just say disagreement कैसे आप solve करते हो? कभी conflict हुआ नहीं, ऐसा तो situation नहीं है. कुछ ना कुछ conflict होता ही है because you are a team. But how do you handle it? Yes. I hope you're clear with the question. Okay, what do you do to ensure everyone's voice is heard? Okay, mostly through conversation and finding solutions. ठीक है, you speak out and you clear misunderstanding. Okay, right. Okay, then how do you ensure everyone's voice is heard? सबके ideas आ रहे हैं, सबकी बात, everyone is contributing and everyone's voice is heard. How do you ensure that?
Raj, you can unmute yourself and answer here directly, not in a private chat.
Okay, communicating regularly. Okay, I am not seeing in the chat actually. Oh, communicating regularly. Okay, good, fine. Okay. Hmm. Okay, tell me any collaboration tool or method you are using purposely to, interact with each other. Have you used any productivity apps or are you using any like Slack or something like that to uh okay, no. You can try all these, of course, whatever suits you, you should try. But there are a lot of productivity tools also. Okay, when we are meeting, we hear to everyone decision. There are people who write the, at least the notes or meetings, that is also there. There's a conventional, okay. The Slack is a collaborative tool which is used. You can Google and see Slack, what is Slack. But then it's a generally people use it for managing communication within a project. So you can learn certain project tools. We see, as I said, technology अगर आपने use किया फॉर योर बेटरमेंट वो बहुत अच्छा होता है जितना जितना आप टेक्नोलॉजिकली एडवांस हो जाओगे इन योर वर्किंग इट विल सेव योर टाइम एंड यू कैन बी मोर एफिशिएंट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट सो you can look at certain collaboration tools like as I said the best example is using a Google Drive or using a Google Sheet. सब कुछ उसमें अपना अपना डाल के रख सकते हैं so everybody can see it. That kind of collaboration you can always do in a simple way to advanced way. ठीक है? Any other questions? Yes, somebody was asking me some certain question which I at that time didn't read it properly. Uh, if a key team member left tomorrow, would our startup continue running smoothly? Okay. So that's the reason you should have cross-functional training, which I just told you. की टीम मेंबर तो ठीक है से एग्जाम्पल टेक्नोलॉजी वाला कोई है और वो सब कुछ देख रहा था एंड अदर पीपल डोंट नो एनीथिंग अबाउट टेक्नोलॉजी ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए यू शुड यू नो व्हाट द अदर पर्सन इज डूइंग ऑलवेज स्पेशली अ की टीम मेंबर उसका क्या काम है द अदर team member should also know you should also equally get trained in at least some part of the thing which you can manage for the temporary time till you get a new person. So एक तो वो छोड़ के गया because of what reason वो तो पता होना चाहिए so that आगे जाके ऐसा फिर से नहीं होना चाहिए that a key person is leaving. Leaving is due to several reasons वो analyze करना चाहिए and because of that से एग्जाम्पल वो टेक्नोलॉजी वाला है तो इक्वली तुमको उतने टाइम में टेक्नोलॉजी वाला मिलना चाहिए एंड ऑल्सो बिकॉज ऑफ क्रॉस फंक्शनल ट्रेनिंग समटाइम्स यू ट्रेन ईच अदर ऑन योर यू कैन से ऑन योर फंक्शनल एरिया तो इसके वजह से क्या होता है द अदर पर्सन एटलीस्ट नो समथिंग बेस्ट वे टू क्रिएट डब्ल्यू बी एस अभी एक्सेल में भी तो डब्ल्यू बी एस है ना माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एक्सेल में भी डब्ल्यू बी एस है डब्ल्यू बी एस के बहुत सारे फॉर्मेट्स हैं online available and even you can use AI for it you can save your time use AI for doing constructive work and get the right inputs from AI also AI is not bad इंटायरली 100% एआई पे डिपेंड नहीं होना है, बट यूज इट फॉर योर ओन बेटरमेंट। खुद का ये करो, उसमें थोड़ा परसेंट एआई तो डेफिनेटली यूज कर सकते, राइट? ट्राई टू ऑटोमेट योर वर्क, try to collaborate with each other using some productivity apps, uh, and which will save a lot of time of repeating the same thing again and again. ठीक है? Yes, any other question? Hope I explained it.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's time to
Yes.
wind up the session. So, thank you so much for taking such an insightful and wonderful session and sharing your experience and expertise on this topic. So, we would like to thanks on the behalf of the Gwalior Smart City Incubation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Megha, and thank you, Gwalior Smart City. Thank you.